guys, KP George was found guilty. Kind of talk about the next steps that's going to happen from here on out.
Sure, I'll let Terry address that, and I'll add to it.
So he is in the process of being bonded out on the post-conviction bond that was set at $10,000 on each case. And then when he gets out, we'll meet with him and decide what to do next.
And then ultimately, we will come back in front of the judge, and she will decide sentencing.
Talk about his office, being in office. Is it immediate removal? Are we going to be suspended? Or
Well, that's a whole civil proceeding that is actually dealt with. So there's a government code provision that will govern that, and there are a whole lot of things that have to be looked at with respect to that, considering just the entire legal process without going into great detail about that.
Sure, what's your reaction? You guys are feeling good?
Well, yeah, obviously we're disappointed. We thought we had a very strong case, but you get 12 members of the community, anything can happen. And so, we respect the process, and now we move forward. And so, go ahead, sorry, Ken.
Did you have an opportunity to talk to the jurors?
No, they didn't want to talk to either side.
They didn't want to talk to anybody.
Fine.
Yeah.
Sometimes that's.
Well, yeah, we felt like we had created reasonable doubt, quite a bit of reasonable doubt with respect to the investigation and things of that nature. But they felt differently, and so now we move forward. And Mr. Yates described the next step in the process, because this is a process, and that's the next step we'll be dealing with.
Counselors, what are the odds of jail time versus probation?
Well, that'll be Judge Jaramillo's determination.
were you all surprised by the verdict?
Yeah, I was. I was surprised by the verdict. Given the evidence or the lack of evidence, I clearly thought there was reasonable doubt. But every good lawyer will tell you that you never know what a jury's going to do. You don't know what 12 people get back there, what particular piece of evidence they've heard over almost 2 weeks they might gravitate to. Who are the strong personalities back there, and how do they feel about it? But ultimately, yeah, obviously we're disappointed in the verdict. We thought the evidence established that he was innocent. We clearly thought the evidence established that there was reasonable doubt.
What did he say, if anything, to you after the conviction?
Well, he's got
nothing in particular.
No, he's got a strong faith. He's a man of strong Christian faith, and he knows everything's in the Lord's hands, and so he's relying on his faith and moving forward with his life.
Can you talk about the conversations that you two had after that verdict came down at that defense table?
Well, that might be attorney-client privilege. I probably shouldn't talk about that, but I could just say generally, he's a man of strong faith. And when you're being challenged, as he's going through some challenges right now, it's good to have that strong faith to rely upon. And his strong Christian faith is helping him get through this challenging time.
Can you confirm if you guys are going to appeal?
We'll visit with him about that once he gets out.
What points of appeal would there be?
I can't.
Well, it's premature to even
Yeah.
talk about that. Let's get through this phase right now. Obviously, Judge Jaramillo will deal with the sentencing issue. That's set for
June 16th.
June 16th, so we have some time to prepare for that. And then, this is a process. It's been a long process.
16th?
I'm sorry, the June 16th, correct.
His misdemeanor trial is scheduled for May. Are you two both representing him in that case as well?
Yes.
Are you preparing as if they're going to do that trial before the sentencing of this felony conviction?
We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. That's going to be their decision as to whether or not they want to continue to pursue that.
Looking back, is there anything that you wish you had done differently in this trial?
No, I really don't. I think that the evidence was strong in our favor. I think you all heard it. You were there the entire trial. I think there's a whole lot of information that the DA's office never looked at. We went through it ad nauseum, whether it be reports and campaign finance reports and banking records. But juries can do anything, And so obviously there was a piece of evidence or a group of evidence that they gravitated to that persuaded them to the state's position.
Can you talk about what's next? The new bond will be set?
It's already set.
Okay.
Yeah, they said that, as Mr. Yates had said, that $10,000.
Do you expect that to be posted today, forthwith?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
As George indicated, what's going to happen the rest of his life? Can't run for politics anymore. What's he going to do?
Well, I don't know what Mr. George will do. As you know, Congressman DeLay had a similar situation. His life went on, and so Mr. George's life will go on too.
I know you said, Mr. Yates, in the trial you've never seen a case like this in all your years' practice. So where does the guilty verdict then rank for you? Are you most surprised you've ever been with an outcome? Where does this one rank for you?
Very surprising. Right behind Dynegy, probably it's the most surprising verdict. Jamie Otis trial in early 2000s, which it was very shocking. But that's why, yeah, you never know what a jury's going to do. Like Jared said, you just after that one, I said I'd never be surprised again. So.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Appreciate
Have a good
you. Y'all have a
weekend.
wonderful weekend.